I want to show you a little bit how we have our garden set up, and as you can see, we plant these things in strips with leaving grass walkways in between to get the your just to walk on or to run the tractor or four-wheeler, whatever you need up between them. And it also gives you a way of keeping track of where you have things from year to year. Here it was sweet corn. It was potatoes last year. I'm going to plant, I think I'm going to put some strawberries in here in the spring. And if I put anything that's not a perennial like strawberries, then I can put potatoes back in it. You know, I'll have had at least 2 years of space in between potato crops, so every third year. And here's this year's potatoes. You can see they're essentially weed free and they're starting to dry up. These are our King Harrys, and we've already dug some for a meal, and they look good. So you never know with a dry year like this how they're going to turn out, but I think we have enough. Actually, a deer just ran over the hill. There's actually a doe and 3 fawns that tend to hang out here, hence the electric fence. But I do want to show you our strawberries because I think we're onto something here. I've always wanted to have strawberries and just never been able to do it in such a way to keep ahead of the weeds. But as you can see here, we laid down the black plastic. This is just agricultural grade plastic that my dad gets from the dairy farm where he works, and they use this to cover up their silage piles, and once they're done it's just discarded. But it makes perfect mulch for certain crops. We use it for our watermelons and our cantaloupe and pumpkins and strawberries. Now, these strawberry plants, you can see they're in nice rows and they're clean. There's not all the weeds that you tend to have in most strawberry beds. These were planted last spring, and we transplanted them to this spot this spring into the plastic. And I can tell you, for the first month or two, they got ravaged by the deer until we were able to get the fence up. Otherwise, I think these things would be even fuller than they are. But you can see these are nice, full plants, and these are going to be very productive next year. And hopefully we'll be able to keep them in here for a couple years, maybe 3 years, I don't know. And I'll show you here. This morning I came through and these things had lots of runners out and about, and obviously the runners can't get down through the plastic, and quite frankly I don't want the plants expending the energy on the runners. I want them to put it into their own bodies, into the leaves, and be set up to have a good crop of berries next year. So I pulled all the runners off. I've done it 2 or 3 times now, and here actually was one that I missed, and you can see here I just pulled it off. Some people don't have the heart to do it, but you got to do it. And sometimes you'll get a weed in and around the holes in the plastic, but by and large there's not a lot, and you just pluck them as you got time. But this is a second year set of strawberries, and next year, I think for the next 2 or 3 years, we're going to have a very good crop of strawberries. Now, over here, I got some weeds coming through, but obviously we didn't put plastic here, and you can see it's nothing but a solid mass of strawberries. And we spaced them about the same way, probably a little further apart than we did these. And we just kept them weeded and let the runners obviously spread out here. And now we have all the runners we could possibly need. And so my plan is, after I'm going to chop the corn down with the rotary mower that I got, and if we get time, I'm going to put plastic down. I'm going to put some fertilizer down, some composted manure, and we have a sand pile over here that I want to incorporate into some of that. And if I get it, I'm going to till it in and put the plastic down yet this fall, but if not, we'll do it in the spring like we did these other ones, and have another bed. I think with strawberries you almost have to keep starting new beds and tearing them out. Although with this plastic, we'll see we may be able to keep them in a particular patch a little longer than you might conventionally, because conventionally they just get overtaken by weeds and runners, and you have to tear them out. You can only get a useful life out of a patch for 2 or 3 years. So we'll check in next year and see if our theory and our method is feasible, or if we have to try something else.